you about why self-publishing is your spiritual calling. Huh? You got a story to tell and somebody needs to hear it. If you guys do not know, we are starting our 6 weeks to self-publishing course. This is not just a bunch of videos and worksheets. This is a live boot camp that is going to start April the 28th. If you're watching this after April the 28th, I will run the boot camp again later on this year or maybe early in 2025. But we're going to have our live boot camp for 6 weeks to self-publish your book, right? I'm going to take you from idea to book within 6 weeks if you stick with me and do what you need to do. But up until the 28th, I'm going to come online and we're going to talk about self-publishing. I'm going to answer some questions you have because if you decide to join my boot camp, I want you to be ready to go. I'm going to help you figure out what kind of ideas. If you want to write, if you want to create journals, I got you. If you want to create children's books, I got you. If you want to do coloring books, I got you. If you have a book of poetry, I got you. Right? Self-help books, I got you. You want to tell your story is interesting. I got you. Or you want to be messy like me and write about your love life. I got you. All right, y'all. So listen, hey family, welcome in. If you are here today, it's because there's something inside of you that is bigger than fear, right? Something inside you knows you're supposed to tell your story and you are tired of sitting on it. I am Coach Misty. Listen, I'm Coach Misty, and today I am enrolling 20 students into my 6 weeks of self-publishing boot camp. Right? So understand you did not land here by accident, whether you're watching this video live or you're watching this video at a later date. You did not land here by accident. God has been pushing you, nudging you, whispering to you. It's time to get that story out. Now, as a quick reminder, I am enrolling 20 people. We have 20 more slots left in my 6 week to self publishing class. I will be going live every day up until the 28th, up until Monday. So go ahead and secure your spot today. All right. If you would like to go ahead and sign up, you can go visit iamcoachmissy.com. Go visit iamcoachmissy.com and go ahead and sign up under Write Your Book in 6 weeks. There's a link on iamcoachmissy.com, or you click the link in my bio if you watch me on TikTok. If you are watching me on YouTube, go to iamcoachmissy.com and click on the link that says Write Your Book in 6 weeks. All right. All right, so this is what I do. I want you, for the meantime, between time, I want you to stay locked in because I'm about to show you why self publishing isn't just a business move, it is a spiritual mission. All right. All right. So now some of y'all have lived through some things that you were not supposed to survive, but you did. Huh? Listen, when I had my spiritual breakthrough in May of 2020, I literally sat down on the same piece of paper that I wrote my suicide notes. This is real stuff. In the same notebook that I had wrote my suicide notes, I actually ended up writing down. God led me to write down everything that I had survived mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. He had me write all of the things that I had survived. And I said, if I survived all of these things, and I was tears was running down my face, and I'm writing, and I realized that I had filled up one side of the page and had went on to the other side of the page. And God said, if you made it through this, you can make it through anything. All right. But I want you to know this: survival isn't random, it's intentional. Huh? I'm gonna say that again. Your survival isn't random. Some of y'all weren't supposed to make it here at birth. That wasn't random, it was intentional. Some of y'all have been through some of you have been through horrendous accidents. That wasn't random, it was intentional. Some of you have survived domestic abuse. Somebody has survived mental abuse. Some of you have went through spiritual abuse. It wasn't random and you survived. The survival wasn't random, it was intentional. I want you to know that your healing, your testimony, your lessons, they're supposed to help somebody else. Now, your book could be the blueprint that saves somebody's marriage. Your book could be the survival guide for a young woman struggling with depression. Your book could be the permission slip for someone to dream again. When I tell my story about how I wrote my books, a lot of times my books help people get into dating again. And a lot of times my books help people realize that they can write a book too. You hear me? So when you publish, you're not doing spiritual. Listen, when you publish, you're not just doing work. This is not busy work. You're doing spiritual work. What you are doing is you are planting seeds that will bless people that you never even met. All right. All right. So again, as I'm going through this, and we're not gonna be on here long because I know I got my skating class to go to. I'm so excited and delighted. Listen, y'all, if I fall down, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna come home and tell y'all about it tonight. But I want just to reiterate, we have 20 spots left in my 6 week to self-publishing class. And there's something that you are serious about and you want to get your story out, you want to help somebody else. Go to IamCoachMissy.com. Click on the link that says write your book in 6 weeks or become an author in 6 weeks and go ahead and sign up today. All right. So let's get into something else. I want to say this to say that, huh? Let's talk about why waiting is disobedience. Why waiting? And this isn't about writing your book. This is about anything that God has told you to do. Let's talk about why waiting is disobedience. We always think about disobedience when it comes to God. If God say go left, I'm gonna go right. But sometimes God tells you to go left and you stay in place. It's still disobedience. We're gonna talk about why waiting is disobedience, and this applies to more topics than just this book. This applies to a lot. So I'm gonna say this to say that. You've heard me say it before, and I say it again. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. God told you not to deal, not to be with that man. God told you to leave that situation and you still there and you wondering why things keep happening. God told you to walk off that job and start your business a year ago and you wonder why you having financial heartache. You wonder why you stressed out at work because delayed obedience is still disobedience. How many times have you said, I'm going to write this book when life slows down? How many of y'all have a book inside of you and you said, I'm going to tell my story when life slows down? I don't know when life is going to slow down. I'm going to write my book. If that's you, just say me in the comments. Remember, we listen, we don't judge. We pray, we don't judge, right? How many times have you said, I'm going to write this book when life slows down? Right? How many times have you said, I'm going to write it when I feel ready to write it? I'm going to write it when I feel ready to write it. If this is you, if any of those statements apply to you, I want you to know here's the truth. You'll never feel ready. You just have to move. You'll never feel ready. There is no time of day when I'm writing my third book. There is no certain time, right? Listen, there's no certain time where I be sitting there and I'll be like, I'm gonna write this book on Thursday. When the spirit moves me, a lot of y'all do that, does not now. I'm not about to get in y'all business because I got somewhere to be. But a lot of people do that about a lot of things. When the time is right and when the spirit moves me, I'm going to go and do this, huh? I'm going to go and do this. Life is passing you by. Everybody else is experiencing joy. Everybody else is experiencing freedom. And you're in the same situation because when the timing is right and when the spirit moves, then I'm going to move. God told you to move 2 years ago. God told you to move 10 years ago, huh? And you're still waiting for something else to happen. Listen, some of you all are stuck because you don't have time. You are stuck because you are scared. Again, I know I'm about to step on a lot of toes. Something this really ain't got nothing to do with no book. This has a lot to do about life. Some of y'all stuck in life because you know it's not. Oh, I don't have time to look for another job. I don't have time to invest in relationship. Do you know how many women I've been running into that are now building businesses, but they really need to build relationships and they say, I don't have time for no man. I don't have time for no husband. I don't have time for children because I'm building my brand. It's not that you don't have time, you scared. Huh? Listen. You're scared that it won't be good enough. Again, I told y'all some of this stuff I'm talking about ain't about no goddamn book. Scared that it won't be good enough. You are scared that people will judge you. You're scared that you will fail. But I'm here to tell you that fear is a lie. You hear me? Fear is a lie. And fear is trying to rob the world of your voice. But we are going to say, not today. Not today. Listen, let me tell you something. Now, what you all don't know, I don't know if you all understand this. I've been helping people write books. When I figured out how to write a book, one thing about it, two things for sure, I'm not going to coach you on something I've never accomplished. I can't coach you on something I haven't accomplished. So once I figured out how to write a book and once I pinpoint the strategy on how to write a book and self-publish my book and make money from my book and do it within a decent amount of time, you hear me? Within a decent amount of time, I realized I could help other people do it too, right? I just didn't have a course for it. People will come to me and say, "Hey, can you help me write a book?" In that inboxes and the still in the night in those inboxes. Hey, can you help me write a book? And this is me. Absolutely, I can help you write a book. Come on with it. Now, one of my students came to me. Listen, came in scared. They were scared to even write a paragraph. And then 6 weeks later, she had a published book and a speaking engagement. I had another young lady that I coached. I coached her right out her corporate job and into her dream. I coached her right out her corporate job and into her dream. And she did that with her book. She did that with her book, 365 to Commit. Oh Lord, I'm gonna have to grab this book. She did that with her book. Y'all, now listen, I know this might be a little janky, but I'm gonna grab this book because I want to show you. I show y'all my books all the time. Let me show you one of my clients' books. Hold on. Because see, I show y'all my books all the time. But let me show you one of my clients' books. Because I need y'all to know it's real around here. Let me show you one of my clients' books. This is one of my clients' books. Coach her right out of her job. Coach her right out of her job and right into what she wanted to do. It's called 365 days to commit. And it is the most, listen, the planner is beautiful. Huh? This is beautiful. Now, there's other ways to self-publish other than doing it on Amazon or KDP. There's other ways. Coach her right into her book. She did that, right? This book is beautiful. Some of y'all had this book. This book is amazing, right? It's amazing. So that planner is beautiful. So if that's something you want to do, hey, guess what? I'm here for it. Now, I'm gonna talk about why self-publishing is the smartest route. A lot of you all have written books and you're waiting for somebody to knock on your door and say, hey, I want to get that book. Look at the reviews. They say that the best organizer I have, it was definitely worth the money. What are people saying? Hey, you got a book. I had a lady hit my inbox up. She said, I'm sitting on 4 books. How will the world know that you're sitting on these 4 books? How does the world know you even have 4 books? Who is going to come knocking on your door and say, hey, how are you? I'm from XYZ Publishing and we want to publish your books. No, you have to tell the world. Hold on, y'all. Lord have mercy. It ain't a good live until Zion call me. So let's talk about why self-publishing is the smartest route. Now, number one, traditional publishing moves slow and they want to own your story. Do you know that when you go through a traditional publishing clearinghouse, that they want rights to your story? Huh? They pay you for your story, then they own your story, right? Self-publishing puts you in control, right? You keep your rights, you keep your money, and you keep your voice authentic and untouched. All right. When you go through, if you're waiting for someone to go through a regular publisher, huh? When you're going through a regular publisher, they can tell you, oh, we want you to change this and we want you to change that and we want you to do this and we want you to do that. They're going to make your story appeal to who they think the audience is and not who you intended the audience to be. Right? So let me go ahead and set this straight. Number one, you don't need an agent. When you are writing the book, you don't need an agent. Number two, you don't need a million followers. If you guys followed me when I first started doing story time, the account now is called CME Square for CME Entertainment. But a long time ago, I had a TikTok called 72 Hour Day. When I say long time ago, that was what in 2021. I had 72-hour date. And 72-hour date came from me actually going on a bad date, being flew out. And that's actually the first story in my book. The first story in my book is about how I came to become an author in the first place. I got flew out, right? It was American Airlines flight 256. I got flew out. Look, flew out. Huh? Flew out. I knew it was some bullshit going on in the game. I made a TikTok that night called 72 Hour Date because I was on a 72-hour date. I asked that man, I said, did you have a girlfriend? He said, no, I ain't. I said, you ain't dating nobody? No, I'm not dating nobody. Sure enough, that same night the girl showed up at the door. And what did I do? I took an opportunity. I took something that looked like it was going to be a tragedy and turned it an opportunity. That was one of the best nights of my life. It was one of the scariest nights of my life, but it turned out to be the best night of my life because guess what I did? I started doing storytelling right then and there. I said, this is the time. God been telling me to write a book. I've been writing notebooks and been writing stories about my love life and story about the people I date. I said, this is the time right now to tell my story. And I told the story on TikTok Live. The TikTok is called CME Square or CME2. That's my TikTok now. I still have those videos up. In 24 hours, that TikTok account went from 0 to 10,000 followers in 24 hours. The first video I posted on that TikTok account had over 500,000 views. I went viral for my storytelling. Well, now, did I do it trying to be messy? No. Did I do it trying to expose him? No. Did I do it for my safety? A little bit, yes. But you know why I ultimately did that? Because I wanted to test out storytelling. And you know what happened? My first initial story on TikTok, and this wasn't just me talking to y'all about the story. No, this was me writing the words on the screen. I would sit there and I would record the background. The background noise may be the girl kicking in the door, knocking on the door, and the TV going. And I was writing everything on the screen as it was happening. And I realized, my God, you wrote a story. And if you can write this story, you got another one. And you know what the people said after that first story had 27 parts on TikTok. And baby, people was with it, 27 parts. And when I finished that story, people was like, oh my God, I love this story. Do you have another one? I said, yeah, I do. I said, let me tell you about the time I dated two brothers. And we went into it. And I started telling my stories on TikTok by writing everything on the screen. Right. And then I realized that I can write a book. All right. So when I say this, you don't need a million followers. You don't need an agent. When I tell you that all I paid for, I had written this book on my iPhone in the notes. I paid to get the cover. Oh, let me rephrase that. The guy that I went to go visit, I told him, I said, after everything that happened, the least you could do is pay to get my cover art. He paid for my cover art. My cover art was about $100. He paid for my cover art. I put out a one-page landing page, a one-page website introducing the pre-sale. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all, because I'm gonna teach you how to make the book and market it. Introducing the pre-sale of this book. I sold this book for $25, signed copies of the book. I had sold 100 copies of a book that I didn't even have in my hands yet within 3 days. All by going live and telling the story. I was reading the story from the pages. I actually had to pay the man. Listen, listen. I, Miss Sherry, I don't think you reached out to me. Miss Sherry, there's a lot of fake pages of me. Miss Sherry, I don't think that was me. If you're talking to somebody, hold on, y'all. Miss Sherry, if you're talking to somebody in your inbox, that's not me. Okay, please don't get tricked by the people out here. I didn't reach out to you in your inbox. All right, back to this. Y'all, listen, when I tell you that I sold 100 copies of this book, within 3 days without even having the book in my hand. I used that money to actually order copies of the book. I uploaded my book to Amazon KDP, and you have an option called the author's books, the author's copies. And I ordered the author's copies of the books. Now, I'm gonna be openly transparent with you. Yes, my book is amazing. My author's copy was only $4. So I want y'all to do the math. If you have $25 for a book, now mind you, I didn't charge them shipping. So let's just say 20. Let's take off $5 for shipping. So if I'm charging $20 per book and the author's copy of the book is $4, how much profit is that left off of each book? If it's $20 for the book, because I took off for shipping, minus $4 to get the author's copy shipped to me, meaning get them printed up and shipped to me. How much do I have per each book? How much is left over? 20 minus 4 is what, guys? I'm gonna help y'all out a little bit. 16. So that means for every book that I sold, I made $16. Huh? For every book that I sold, I didn't have to put my seed money up first. I didn't need $1,000 to get the book written. Nothing. I made $16 off of every book that I sold. I had the money up front. So all I had to do when the books came, all I had to do was sign them and ship them out. That's it. That is it. That's all. And guess what happened? People said we want book number two. And I repeated that same process with book number two. To be honest with you, putting my book on pre-sale actually encouraged me to finish writing the book. So with those first 100 books, I made $1,600 profit off of something that I had only spent 2 weeks writing. And I don't mean 2 full weeks. I wasn't writing day and night. I spent 2 weeks writing these stories. And I spent $100, and that wasn't even my money. He spent $100 on my cover art, and I want to say the web page probably was about $50, and that was that. All right. So I'm gonna say this: you don't need a million followers, right? All you need is a plan, and that's what I give you inside my boot camp is a plan. You just got your books today. You ordered your books offline. Now, in just 6 weeks, guys, you'll go from I think I have an idea to here's my finished book available on Amazon, Kindle, and everywhere else. I'm gonna say that again. You will own all your publishing rights. I'm gonna show you how to copyright your book as well. So can't nobody steal your story. You will have your own ISBN number. You will be able to go and contact Barnes and Noble and say, hey, I want to sell this to Barnes and Noble. Okay, I want to have my book in here, and this is my book, and I own everything with it. You'll be able, when you have an agent involved, they act as the middleman and they broker a deal for you, which means whatever you sell, they're going to take a percentage for them as well. I want you to keep all your coin. You hear me? So again, if you're watching this and you are interested, we are enrolling 20 people today in my 6 weeks to self-publishing boot camp, which is found on iamcoachmissy.com. Right? All you gotta do is go ahead and click the link. Let me show y'all where to find it real quick. Let me show y'all where to find it. Here, let me sit. Let me. Oh, I got tablets for days. Hold on, y'all. Baby, these people is really on they rock off they rockers today. Calling me like that. You said someone was trying to scam with your page. Well, it's not my page, your fake pages. If you guys are watching this, I want y'all to understand I will never reach out to you. I don't have more than one Coach Misty page. All right. I'll never reach out to you. I don't have more than one Coach Misty page. None of that. That's not me. So I've gotten a couple messages from people today. Like, do you know? Is this? No, it is not me. I don't have nothing. Spirit God ain't told me to tell you nothing. And you have to reach me on iamcoachmissy.com or this is cme.com. All right. That's not me, guys. Please get into it. I would never message you first because what I don't have that kind of time. Trust and believe that. And don't. All right, y'all. Let's talk about now. What I do have time for is to show y'all how to get to iamcoachmissy.com. All right. So if you go to iamcoachmissy.com, this is what it looks like. iamcoachmissy.com. If you go ahead and scroll down, the third option says write your book in 6 weeks. That's the boot camp. Write your book in 6 weeks. That's the boot camp. We have some other options. I got the do it yourself credit course, but that ain't what we're talking about right now. Write your book in 6 weeks. Go ahead and sign up for that. I'll start sending out emails and worksheets to prepare you for our first class on Monday night. All classes will be recorded. That way you can go back and watch the classes at your leisure. If you cannot log in, I understand people work nights, they have family obligations. I just need you to keep up. Right. But if you can log into the live class, I'm here to help. And I want to say this to say that I do not fuck around. I don't play around when it comes to these classes and come to these books. Now, let me give you a breakdown of the support you will get within my 6 week boot camp, right? So, inside the 6 week boot camp, you are not getting left to figure it out on your own. That's not what this is. You'll meet with me live every single week for training and question and QA, right? You'll get my templates for outlining, my formatting guides, and my marketing launch checklist. Plus, if you're one of the first 10 people, it only got two more spots. So the next two people that enroll will get a bonus one-on-one coaching session with me to personalize their publishing strategy. All right. Now, listen, I want you to notice to say, I want you to know this. You don't have to be Maya Angelou. You don't have to be I'm trying to think of some other I like Stephen King. You don't have to be Stephen King. I was trying to think of some other black writer. You don't have to be Stephen King. You don't have to be none of these people in order to do this. And let me tell you to say that I'm not teaching you how to write with Chat GPT. If you're trying to write a book with ChatGPT, you can just write a book with ChatGPT. I am teaching you how to do a storyline. I want somebody to be able to pick up your book. Like I do on mine. I want somebody to be able to pick up your book, flip to any page in your book and start reading and be interested. I want somebody to pick up your book and say, as the kids ran back in the house, I turned around to see Brian standing there in all of his 6'4" glory. His skin was a rich cocoa brown color, and he had the fullest, curliest beard I had ever seen. His eyes danced with the sun beamed on his face, and his smile was radiant. I can tell that Brian was about his paper from his demeanor and his style. Freshly manicured hands paired with a dope ass fit was enough to make me stand outside and talk to him just a couple moments longer. I want somebody to be like, I want to hear more about Brian. I want you, listen, how many people from that little point, how many people saw the sun standing on Brian? How many people saw his rich cocoa brown color and his full curly beard? How many people saw how the sunlight danced in his eyes, right? How many people could tell from his freshly manicured hands that Brian was about that paper? That's what I want your book to be like. Whatever it is, I want people not to be able to put it down. I want people to say, oh my God, I couldn't put your book down. I read your book in one day. I need more. I'm going to give you something that the people want and they crave. And that's how you stay in business. I want you to know this. You are the chosen one for your family. If you're trying to figure out how to break a generational curse, how to break this, that, and the other, how am I going to send my kids to college? You are the chosen one for your family. You are the chosen one for your community, and you are the chosen one for your generation. I want you to know this: when it comes to writing books, your voice is needed. Listen, in the state of the world that we're going in right now, your voice is needed. We don't have storytellers no more. Huh? We don't have storytellers no more. One of my greatest achievements is when I finished the book about my grandmother. I am writing a book about my grandmother, and the book is named Naomi. Her middle name was Naomi, and that's the name of the book, Naomi. And it's going to be about my grandmother's story. One of the best things my grandmother did was give me her story, was tell her story to me. Her story was amazing. Her story reminded me of where I come from. Her story, I was able to relate to my grandmother, not as my grandmother, but as a person, as a young girl from Somerville, Tennessee, as a young girl from Somerville, Tennessee, who wasn't the head of the family. She wasn't the head of the family, but she was the head of her sisters. Yes, it will help you about writing a book about your life story, friend. Absolutely. Whatever type of books you want to write, I'm gonna help you. I know how to write them. I've written self-help books. I've written workbooks. I made journals. I write books. I write novels. What is it that you want? I can do it. I've written books about how to make sales in 72 hours. Where's my money Bible at? I don't know. I got a money Bible. I've written all kind of books. Yes, ma'am. What other questions do y'all have? I just want you to know that your voice is needed, your lessons are needed, your healing is needed. Right? I want you to understand this. God has put a book inside of you because someone else needs to make it through. And that's when I produce these books, even when these books that be a little raunchy, even my books, listen, even my books that be a little raunchier, even my books, that be a little girl, I can't believe you said that, and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. This book helps somebody. I promise you. People always hit me up and like, Coach Misty, I read that story about 2 for 20, and I was her. That book helped me. Coach Misty, I read that story about when that man tried to pull you in that house and how he was going to hurt you. And Coach Misty, I didn't know how to tell nobody, but I was a victim of domestic violence. That was me. You made it out, and so did I. Your story is going to inspire somebody. It is time to make a change. Stop trying to be a social media influencer and just influence. So, with that being said, I want you to know that the enrollment closes on the 28th. I am going to go ahead. My goal is to fill up all the spots tonight so that I can start preparing you guys for Monday. The faster our classes close out, the class closes class out, the more information I can give you to prepare you for day one, right? I want you to know this. We have 20 spaces, less than 7 days. No excuses, no fear, just faith. If you are ready to get started, go to I Am Coach Misty, go to the third link, go ahead and click it and sign up, right? I want you to know that you are not just writing a book, you are answering your calling. Do not leave this live without saying yes to yourself. All right? Okay. Hey, listen, I ain't got all day to be on here with y'all because I got to get ready to go to my skate class. I want to thank y'all for allowing me to share that with y'all. First of all, do y'all have any questions before I don't want to leave y'all like that. Does anybody have any questions about the boot camp? Does anybody have any questions about the books? Like, what is it? I'm here to also help you. If you want to narrow down which book you should start with first, because once I teach you the process of how to write a book, listen, once I coach you through your first book, and you produce your first book successfully, you'll never need coaching from me again because you'll have the process down. You got it down packed. And the things that I teach you, not only do I teach you something to empower yourself, I teach you something that can empower your family, that can empower your community. I listen, not only am I teaching you a business, I'm teaching you the business. And I want you to remember that. Not only am I teaching you a business, I'm teaching you the business. All right. Any questions about the boot camp? Any questions about writing a book? Any questions about publishing? Any questions you have for me as being a published author? I'm here to help you. I'm very transparent. I'm also going to share with you my vendors list, the editors that I've used in the past, the people that have done my book cover designs. I'm going to give you So here's the deal. We're going to change the names. When you are doing your life story, unless those people, and that's something I'm going to go over with y'all in class, unless the people in your story have agreed and signed waivers, meaning they are agreed for their likeness to be used and they are not looking for any monetary gain, you are going to change the names. Because the one thing I would hate for you to do is have a book come out, it's a bestseller, and somebody said, we're going to change certain things like the names. We're going to change, like if someone had a boy, we're going to say they had a girl as a child, right? If someone had a son, we're gonna say they had a baby girl. We're going to change. We're going to, unless they agree, and I will give you that paperwork for them to sign. Unless they agree to let you use their likeness, and they say it's okay to feature me in the story. No, I do in my stories. I do have a couple places where I actually use the person's name. That's because they agreed and signed paperwork and said you can use my likeness in your story. I want to be featured in your story. I'm not going to try to extort you for money later on. I'm not going to try to sue you when this goes to Netflix, right? I just want to be, hey, I just want to be on a panel. No problem. Some people believe in you like that. Like I said, if you can't find a way to get in contact with that person, don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate the power of the internet. You can be like, I ain't talked to Johnny in 12 years, and I go put Johnny name in my book. And Johnny say, Johnny, born in September, dated Kimberly, that's me. I want some money. No. Johnny gonna become Jermaine. Jermaine was born in August, and Jermaine was 5'8" when Johnny was 6'2". No ma'am. Huh? Yeah. Or you don't use names. Or you be giving them character names like God number one, God number two. But we are going to change, even as here's the deal. We're going to change some of the things about the story. We're going to change some of the elements about the story so that people can't pinpoint. Because let's just say you don't use Johnny name, but you say it was 1992, Cleveland, Ohio, off 116th and Miles. My grandmother lived in a big blue house. Johnny lived in a red and white one. Johnny can go back and say, "Here's a picture from me in 1992. Here I lived in. This is the red and white house. Johnny is Jermaine. I'm Jermaine. I want money." No, we're not gonna say that because see, why Johnny? Listen. When Johnny might have lived down the street from you, listen. When Johnny might have lived down the street from you, guess what? Jermaine lived around the corner. Jermaine lived across town. No, we gonna change that shit up. What else? Any other questions? And this is things that I help you go through when we're setting up your book, when we're setting up your story. These are things we go to. I also want you to know this. I don't want anybody to feel so overwhelmed that they be like, oh my God, I got such a long story to tell. I can't get it all out. We can break these stories up into volumes. You can have multiple books. You know how many dating stories I wrote? No, I don't put all of them in one book. I break them up into books. I give people something to look forward to. This book has what? Four dating stories and a sneak peek. My books have you anywhere from 4 to 5 short stories and a sneak peek on a story coming up. I don't put all that in one book. I give people something to come back for. That's how people want book three. And they be like, I want book three. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me go ahead and get to finishing up book three and give y'all what y'all want. Any other questions? I got 1 more minute for questions. If not, does anybody have any questions on how to sign up for class? Does anybody need to know how to sign up for class? Yes, no, maybe so. If you need to know how to sign up for class, please ask me now so we can go ahead and show you. I have moderators in the lives that can show you as well. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get ready. Yes, you just ordered some Eat 'em Up oil. Congratulations. Yikes. I love it. What else? Anything about the boot camp? Yes, I'm about to go roller skating, Deacon. Pray for me. Pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Pray for me, Deacon. All right, will the price go up after the 28th? No, the class will close on the 28th. So the price is the price. The price, that's not an introductory price. Not for this. It's not an introductory price. It's just done. So after the 28th, listen, after the 28th, the class is closed. I'm not going to, it's a live class. I'm not going to let people join in on the first or let people join in on the week. Nah, Okay, no problem. Nah, we're not letting. You say, how often do I do the class? I'm doing the first class. So right now, I only have one time to do the class, and that's right now. I have other classes paying for the fall. So as I could be so you could be safe to say that the only chance you're gonna have to take this class is going to be April of 2025. And then if I repeat the class again, it will be April of 2026. I'm not gonna continuously do the class because I teach other lot of classes. Any other questions, guys? We have about 2 more minutes for questions. Anything else? So this is it, Michael Jackson, because I got other stuff that I want to do. You're welcome. No problem. All right. You're more than welcome, Michelle. Listen, I want to thank you guys so much. Go click the link in my bio. Check out IamCoachMissy.com. Sign up for class or buy any other products. I will be live tonight. I'm doing story time tonight. And we gonna make it do what it do tonight. I will be live tonight about 8:30, 8:45 p.m. because of the class. You guys wish me love, say prayers for me. I'm about to have a good time. I'm so proud of myself for getting out here and do something fun and amazing. I'm doing what I want to do, and that's what freedom gets you. All right. Love y'all. Bye.